eziokwu na-ekwu bụ na ọ batara ọrụ wee siere ya rice. Then when ka sie rice ọ jụọ m ka eme na masara efere wee gbachi ya nkịtị.
How do you want to convince people that the only way to defend yourself was to smack the head of your boss, stab him with a knife, and you were still trying to pin his death on someone else? Maybe if someone had told Chima that their family domestic staff, who they had trained all the way from primary school until he finished secondary school, was going to kill him in a very brutal manner, maybe they wouldn't have taken this boy, or maybe they would have returned him home by the time they noticed that he was becoming very, very insulting and arrogant. Chima Anolue was a lecturer at the psychology department at the Anambra State University. He was also the son of Dr. Chima Anolue, who is the secretary to the PO of UNIZIC. Chima was a very active and popular choir master in the church. He hailed from Ibuku in Anambra State and was on Friday, the 14th of July 2023, at Ifite village in Oka, Anambra State, killed by their domestic staff over a slight argument. The vigilante group at Ifite village said they got a distress call that someone was attacked. They actually rushed to the scene and saw Chima in the pool of his own blood and at the verge of giving up the ghost. And all that came to their mind was to get Chima to the hospital to seek medical care. They put him in the vehicle and put this domestic staff in the vehicle with him. As they were driving to the hospital, they noticed that this boy was acting strange because he was doing everything possible to kill Chima in that vehicle when he noticed that Chima was still alive. That was when they started suspecting him because he gave them a narrative before when they asked him what happened to Chima because of the knife stab they found on his body. This boy said it was Chima's girlfriend that visited and they had an argument and it was the girlfriend that attacked Chima. But seeing what he was doing in the vehicle, he became the prime suspect. And that was the point they needed Chima to talk, to tell them what actually happened to him. It took Chima some time to be able to speak out with all the strength he still had in him, and he pronounced the name of this domestic staff who hailed from Abakaliki in Ebonyi State, that he was the person that attacked him. And that was the point the vigilante group arrested this boy, tortured him to the point that they threatened that they were going to gun him down if he didn't tell them the truth. And that was the point this boy started saying what happened before he decided to kill his boss. Because as soon as Chima pronounced the name of this boy, Chima died. The confession of this boy would have been what you would not even imagine that someone of his age would be able to do. He said on that Friday, Chima came back from work and asked him to boil rice for him. And Chima started asking him why didn't he do the dishes he was asked to do before he left. And he ignored Chima. And he asked him again, why didn't you do the dishes? And that was the point that Chima slapped him. And he told Chima that nobody slaps him because he has ear problem. And Chima told him, why are you talking when I'm talking? And in annoyance, Chima slapped him again. And that was the time he lost self-control and started fighting Chima. In the process of that fight, he looked around and found a pestle which he hit Chima on the head 3 times. Chima slumped and he quickly went to the kitchen, grabbed a knife and started stabbing him to make it to look as if Chima was attacked by an outsider. And when he was asked, why did you have to kill your boss? He said he was annoyed and that he acted in self-defense. What kind of self-defense is that when you are attacking someone who has no weapon with him to the point that you hit him 3 good times until he died? And why were you trying to shock him in the vehicle? Why were you pressing his manhood? Why were you trying to kill him so that he will not be able to pronounce your name? These are evil. Domestic staff had been handed over to Nigerian police for prosecution, and the body of Chima had been deposited into the morgue. We pray may his soul rest in peace. And this is like a red signal to a lot of us that when you were taking a domestic staff, be watchful, because by the time they start growing wings, growing out of what you can control, find a way to send them home. It is better you stay in your home and do your chores yourself than bring in someone that's going to take your life. This is very pathetic. At the age of 17, this boy is already a murderer. If this kind of person is left to roam about the streets at the age of 30 or 35, he will end up killing everybody that annoys him. That is why I say annoyance is 5-minute madness.